Congrats, you have finally finished completing your Wild Woman dreadlock hair wraps. So now I'm going to show you how to install them in your hair. I'm going to show two different ways. One, I'm going to show how to install just the short dreadlock into your natural hair. I'm also going to show you how to install it with a dreadlock and piggybacked on top. So I'm going to start with that and show you here. What you're going to need for this is, let's start with your dreadlock, like your double-ended dreadlock, and then have your wrap as well. You're also going to need your hook for installing, and then you will need a rubber band or two, right? Okay, and then also some clips. Grab yourself some clips. Okay, I'm gonna do this to pull my hair out of the way to show you. Now, if you are installing a full set of dreadlocks, you're gonna wanna part your hair into boxes. For this video, since I'm just gonna install one and then take it back out, I'm going to just kind of grab a chunk of hair to do it. So I'm going to show you a place where I like to install my dreadlocks when I'm doing a single one just inside of my natural hair. And so I'm going to pull my hair up here out of the way. I like to put one behind my ear because then it stays tucked back there. So I'm going to just clip my hair up like this. And I'm going to leave this chunk out that's in front. And I'm going to grab a piece kind of behind my ear a little bit. Decent sized piece right here, so you can see the size of the piece that I grabbed. Okay, and then just so I'm not grabbing more pieces, I'm gonna clip these out of the way as well. Just pull it all back. Okay, so here's how you're gonna do it if you are piggybacking yours on here. So piggybacking means that you're gonna put in your double-ended synthetic dreadlock, but you also want to add this into the same exact spot. Some people don't like to actually braid their hair down this piece when you have a set of full dreadlocks in. They would prefer to braid it down the double-ended synthetic dreadlock. So I'm going to show you how to do it that way. So first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to take your hook and you're going to slide it through your wrap, just like this. And you want to go past this little hook that flips back and forth. You see that? You're going to go past that. Okay? So you're going to do that, and then I'm going to take my chunk of hair. I'm going to take all of it, the whole chunk, and I am going to grab onto it. I like to twist it a little bit so it's all secure together. Sometimes there's hair coming from like different spots and stuff, right? So I'm going to give it a little twist, and then I'm going to hook, I'll lean in so you can see, hook onto my hair. Then this little hinge here is going to flip up so that there is a full hook around it. Can you see that? This hook is up here. That secures my hair in place so that I can take this and slide it right on. So I'm just going to slide it over the end of the hook, and now I'm going to pull my hair through. Just like that. Okay? Now this part you may want to, I don't have another clip here, but what can make this easier is to actually take this wrap, and if you were able to just clip it right in place right here. Actually, maybe I would use this one that's here. Let me see if I can unhook this without creating a mess. Oops. There we go. Okay, so my hair is pulled through there. That is secured in place, so it is out of my way. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split this chunk of hair into two pieces, just like this. I'm going to take my double-ended dreadlock, lay it across between the two pieces. I would normally clip this in place too, but I probably should have grabbed more clips and I didn't. It's all right. All right, and I'm going to grab those two pieces of hair carefully. All right, like this, on either side of the dreadlock. Then I'm going to cross these two over each other, and you can see that I'm making like that X over it, almost like we did when we made this dreadlock here. Okay, you're gonna see that X happening there. But instead of crossing this direction and going around again, I'm actually going to tuck one back behind it, and I'm just going to begin braiding. Okay, so it's gone behind it now, there, like that. And then we're just going to literally braid all the way down, just like this. And I'm not going to braid this entire thing because you can get the gist of it here, of how it works. I'm just going to braid it a little bit and then I'll release it so you can see. Okay, so pretend I braided this all the way down here like this. All right, and then I can let this piece flop down. I'm going to unclip up here so you can see what's happening. This is when the fun of curly hair comes in, when things get all twisted up in there. All right, so I'm going to unclip, and then this piece is now hooked in. Now this looks goofy, obviously, because I don't have a full set in. But that way you now have your Wild Woman hair wrap in, and you do not have your hair braided down it because it is braided down your double-ended dreadlock. And so will hang on there. Now you can braid over top of it and just install the wrap on its own, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. But some people like to not have their hair going down it, like being braided down it as they, like when they have a full set of dreadlocks in. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this out again. I'm gonna keep the same piece of hair, and I'm gonna show you how you put it in your natural hair. I'm going to use one that I'm actually going to leave in my hair so that it isn't just for demonstration, but it is actually for me wearing. Okay, I put the wrong pieces up here. I actually have a mirror behind my camera here, which makes it very helpful. So I'm going to be looking off to the side a little bit so I can see inside that mirror and get these proper hairs out of the way. Because I'm going to leave this guy in. It's not just for demonstration. This one's going to stay in there. So I'm going to use a dreadlock I had actually made previously for demonstration before recording this. I have the one that I made here with you guys, but I have one that's a little bit thinner that I want to add in. This guy, a little bit more comfortable, kind of just goes with my natural hair a little bit better and the look I'm going for. So I'm going to put this one in here. This one has several of the designs that we did today in it. So I'm going to put that guy in. So I'm going to move all these other tools out of the way here and show you. So I'm going to show you once again how we do this. So I have my piece of hair here. I actually got a little more than I want in front. So I'm going to drop some of that. Just kind of clip it up. Put it up there in the clip. All right, so once again, we're going to take the hook and push it through. Another thing to mention is there is a rubber band on the top of this. If you want to remove that, you can. That kind of just keeps the lock kind of separated from the hoop here. Some people also like to keep it on because then they will slide it up to make, let me see if I can do it here. This rubber band actually isn't super tight on here. That's a little more loose side. But some people like to put it, once they put it on their hair, slide it up so it holds it tight against the scalp. That's up to you. You can even just remove it. I'm actually going to remove it right now. This one is actually pretty brittle. That's on there anyways. Okay, so grabbing my piece again. Making sure I don't have any little flyaways in there that are going to pull and be uncomfortable. I have my lock on my hook. I'm going to hook it on my hair, flip that little latch up, and slide it right on. Just like that. And you can see how that's going to hang right behind my ear. Now I'm going to split this into two pieces. I've realized when I'm doing this too, sometimes it's easier if I don't watch and I just feel around. So you see me looking around, it like actually makes it easier than if you're actually staring at it. It's in a mirror or camera, everything's backwards when you're working with it, so it makes it confusing. Okay, so I have my two pieces here. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I have split them apart, right? I'm gonna take one and wrap it across and go around it. And it kind of locks into place a little bit. Then I'm going to cross this one here. Okay, to the middle. And this next one's crossing over. And I'm just braiding. That's literally all I'm doing. Is I am braiding this in place. I'm going to pull it tight so it stays right up against my scalp. And then the lock goes over. Hair goes over. Hair goes over. Lock goes over. And I'm going to keep braiding all the way down. These are such a fun accent to add in. And the cool thing is, like, I used to do hair wraps in my hair when I was a teenager, even as an adult. Like a few years ago, before I started wearing dreadlocks, I was doing hair wraps in my hair. But the thing is, they take forever. You're in a weird position like this, putting them in your hair. It took me like 2.5 hours to put one in my hair. And then when you've got to take it out, it's like the same thing all over again. So the cool thing is, this is just a quick braid in, And if you want to take it out for a day and then put it back in, you can. You can change it up a lot if you want. It's so fun. You can add one in your hair. You can add a bunch of them in your hair. It is all up to what you prefer. All right, I'm almost at the end here. When I get close to the end, that's when I start wrapping it around in circles, just like we did when we did that second hair wrap. I'm going to do that with my hair as I get to the very end, because oftentimes when you're braiding, you run out of one end more than the other. Okay, so I have a tiny little piece left here. So I'm just going to wrap it around. Just like this. To secure it in place. Some people will leave the end loose because my hair is curly. If I leave the end loose, it will start to knot up in there because every time it gets wet, it starts to curl and move around a ton. All right, so I wrapped it around. Now I'm going to take one of these super rubber bands here. Okay. I have a brown one because my hair is like a light brown. And I'm just going to put that over the end of it and secure it in place. I've caught another piece of my hair, so I'm going to get that out. And after I have secured this, I'm going to show you what this looks like. Oftentimes I'll take my rubber band, instead of just like continually stacking it, I'll kind of spread it out so then there's like different pieces all over, because there are little baby hairs that do escape sometimes. Okay. All right, so I've added that in. I'm going to unclip my hair so you can see what this looks like. I probably could have put this up a little bit higher. I think when I first made it, I might have put a little tiny bit higher so it hit about the same length as my hair, but that's what it looks like once you've added it in. And you can add as many as you want. This is cool because it shows you how it looks with curly hair. Obviously with straight hair it'll match right in because it's straight as well, but you can put it in as any accent. You can have something bright. You can have something this is a little bit more neutral. I mean, it's like purple and blue and white, but it kind of blends in a little bit more, but it's a little bit of an accent, so that's really fun. So I hope you had an absolute blast doing this. I hope you enjoyed the process and that you're absolutely loving putting these together and having these to play around within your hair. It's such a fun thing that you can do. It's so easy. A lot of people like them for kids as well because it is something fun. Like so often kids want to like dye their hair and stuff, and maybe you're like, I'm not ready to do that to my kids' hair yet. But this is a fun way where you can just braid something in and they can enjoy it and have an absolute blast with it without going through the whole process of hair dye or something like that. So have fun with this. Enjoy. I hope you find so much joy in this and it brings you so much confidence, having something like this to just express your personality and express life in yourself in the way that you want to. And we'll see you next time.